Hi guys, and welcome back. Let's get into this week's budget review. So again, for those of you who are new, I picked the Hemlock and Oak weekly planner for this year's budget planner. I absolutely love it. I love the setup. I really want to get to this self-reflection section, but again, guys, alone time, me time, creative time is very limited. Me and Ray are on the same schedule. We work at the same place, so I'm literally with him like 24/7. So it's just not happening this year. But it will soon. Okay, so the first goal that I set for myself this year is to get all of the store cards at 0. Again, this is just because any balances on these accounts, it takes away the funds that I could be using to pay down the actual debts, the real debts. That's what I refer to them as, like any debt's debt. But for me, like these are things that I know, like I can tell you I purchased storage from Michael's on the Michael's card, where if we're going back to what I call the real debts, like, I have no idea what's on the city card. I don't know what's on the merit card. Of course, I know what's on the PSCCU, but mainly for these, like, the amounts on them, they're like mystery things. They were things that I charged, and I said, oh yeah, I'm gonna pay that, and then I just never did, which is how you get to this, which, again, guys, if you've been watching me, this is nothing. There was a time where I've had a list like this big, so it is definitely getting shorter, which is great. It's what we want to see, you know. But yeah, no, the first goal is to try to get all of these down to 0 while we're paying the other things off as well. You can see that, you know, the cabinet from Amazon, that's done. The jeans are done. I'm still working on the storage. I did get Target paid off. That was this week. The scrubbers paid. The mini dumpsters paid. So basically it's just household, and storage. And again, I would love to see what I was spending 200 some dollars on for the household. It's like, what? I don't know. Like, I would have to go back through the statements to see what was on there, but I will say that is the one, like, the main thing I wanted to change for this year, and I have been doing quite well. So I think we've nipped that in the bud. Of course, the first habit that I have is to save $5 a day. This is just something that I started a couple years back. I was struggling to even just start a savings. Just even telling myself, like, put back $50 every pay. I would set aside the 50, and then like a week later I would be like, oh, I need that $50 for something, and then I would take it back out. And so it like showed me, like, yeah, I can save money, but the I guess the hardest part for me was keeping it in the savings. So, the reason why I picked $5 a day is just because, you know, if you go to Starbucks, if you go to McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, you know, any drive-through, you're guaranteed to spend $5. So I'm a big drive-through person, so I figured if I can hand over $5 at a drive-through window and think nothing of it, why can't I put $5 in a savings account and think nothing of it? And it turns out, you know, $5 a day is apparently my limit. $50 every 2 weeks, apparently I couldn't handle that, but, you know, $5 a day, which does come out to 75 per pay, I can do that. So again, guys, just if you are struggling to do a savings account, just pick a weird random number that you feel comfortable putting in the savings account. And again, like, a lot of us have the digital banking, so just digitally transfer it over. Like, get yourself into the habit of just, that's like the first thing you do in the morning. Have your cup of coffee. I have cookies and read. And since I have PNC, I punched a pig $5 a day. Um, I'm used to not having those funds now, so I can just transfer it every payday now. But to get myself accustomed to not having that amount in the bank, I did have to physically transfer $5 every day. So I don't know. I guess the building of the habit thing is true. Again, the Hemlock and Oak provides you with this daily framework. I guess the main thing that I've learned from this page is I used to do all my budgeting after work, and we can see like the energy was declining, because I mean it's 3 in the morning. So this is when, because this would be like, oh, okay, well, I spent this, paid this, did this. So I would try to like get everything done at this time. And what I switched up for this year is I decided, okay, I got high energy right before work. So the first thing that I do, which I guess I should have learned from the savings, is I wake up, I get my coffee, I eat some cookies, read, and then I come and sit with my budget planner for about 20 minutes, 20 minutes at the most. Most days it's 5-10 minutes, but that seems to be like the best time for me to like actually think about what I need to do. And of course, we have the self-care activities, which again, I'm enjoying the fact that all of the self-care activities that I enjoy doing, for the most part, are free. So they do not take away from my budget. So, with this, again, I like to take mini breaks. It just helps with the chapters. But after this mini break, guys, we're gonna get into the actual year at a glance, the year dashboard, all of that wonderful budgeting stuff. Alrighty. Okay, so we're making it to the 2 years at a glance page, and you can see I've added to this. Um, Mainly the addition is the little curly arrows. The reason why I added those is because I did have, this is for projected payoffs, by the way. So originally I just had the name of it, like Perks was written underneath April. But I wanted to go back to those notes that I made earlier on in the year. And I was like, okay, when did I actually project myself to pay this thing off? So it turns out Perks was projected to be paid off April 13th. So we can see that's where the little curly arrow goes to. And guys, I'm excited to say that Perks was officially paid off today. So it has a $0 balance. About time. It literally pretty much took all of quarter 1, but yeah, it's paid, it's done, and like I said, technically he's 3 weeks paid in advance because we got 1, 2, 3, so I actually I did good. Apparently my projected payoff projections were right for this year. I tried to do the slow Moses method and it worked, because if I would have used any of the other projected dates, like it probably would have been like in February, and I would have been unmotivated. I would have felt beat down because it took me longer than that. So yes, the slow and steady turtle pace is what I need to keep my motivation going. And we can see PSECU is our new focus account. He's projected to be paid off in July 27th. And I'm really hoping to get that thing paid off by June 30th. So I'm just going to try to work on these, I guess, every quarter. We can try, guys. We can try. Alright, so the next page is the year overview. I call it my dashboard. Basically things that happen once a year go on to this. That would be like birthdays, holidays. I do the vehicle things like your car inspections, registration plates. I had the driver's license ID the first time I made one of these. I have insurance funds coming in, of course, taxes going out. That's gonna be this upcoming week. Still trying to collect all the papers, but they swear they're all out now, so gotta go and try to get that done. I also keep track if I pay off any of these accounts, so we can see like the Walmart, the mini dumpster was paid, Kohl's carpet scrubber, purchased a dryer, so if I have large purchases, I also mark it on here. The reason being, because I used to just track the focus card. The reason why I started adding these other things is because, like, anything in red wouldn't be here except for perks. And I'd be left here sitting here going, like, why did it take me so long to pay that off? But now, with all of these added on here, I can see, yeah, January was a very busy month. I got a lot of things paid off. That's a lot of money. Like, I'm seeing, 300, 300, 600. So, to round up 700, that's 8 to 900. So that's $900 in payments right there. So yeah, of course, I didn't get the perks card paid off in January because of this spending. Okay, and then of course, we started the whole dentist doctor thing. That was February. Still have not got the bills from them. I'm gonna have to call them up. Again, that's gonna be a Friday thing. And it's gonna be like how many days does it take to get a bill? Okay? Like we are like going on 30 days, guys. Like, and I'm telling you, like, I do have dental insurance, but it's not that good. So, like, where's this bill? Can I please have the bill so I know how much it's going to be? Okay, moving on to the quarterly pages. I love these pages. I wasn't sure if this was going to work out, but I'm really digging these quarterly pages now. One, they show me like if I'm actually doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and two, they show me if I have a sucky month. So, we can see the whole debacle with the perks card was the fact that that is the card that I use for daily spending, but I also knew that I had like a carryover balance from last year on it as well. So the hardest part was trying to figure out what exactly did I owe extra on this card. Because we can see, like, we started January 1st, 733, made a couple payments, and then all of a sudden, February 1st, my balance is 211. The math doesn't add up. So, it's like, okay, well, let's see here. February 1st, starting with 211, made a $40 payment, which should be at around 171, but hey, March 1st, 120. So I'm like, okay, well, at least it's magically going in the right direction for me. But again, something's still not right. So I made one of my extra payments. Should have had a balance of 50, and then I just decided, you know what, $50 is pretty close. I'm gonna go a week without using this card, and then that way, whatever's left over on it, after 7 days of all the transactions clearing, I can finally know what the additional balance is. And it turns out it was 122.24. So, is it nice to know what I owed? Yes. Did it suck because it took me right back to March 1st? Yes. But it does make sense. Because what I found out is, after going through all the statements, trying to find something that's close to this amount, is it would have been a purchase for collagen back in October of 2024 that apparently I never paid for. So that's why I've started making my little purchase trackers and that, because it is so easy to, it's probably like whenever I was at work, I realized I was low on collagen, knew I needed it, and I ordered it and just never wrote it down. But it's so easy to miss a transaction, at least for me. And so, yeah, so we got that paid off. So March 23rd, Perks is at a zero balance. I'm back to using it for everyday spending. But again, the whole trick with me using the credit card daily is that I cannot charge something if I don't have the monies for it. That's the golden rule. So Perks is at a zero, which means we're moving to PSECU. And just a quick summary on this one, with this being at 1081. Again, I want to try to see if I could get this thing paid off for quarter 2. So I just did a quick division by 3, which gives me 360 per month. Granted, I have not been doing 360 per month, but that's the number that I give myself to try to motivate myself to be like, okay, buddy, like, let's see how close we can get to 360 without breaking the bank, and see if we could get that thing paid off. And yes, guys, I use sticky notes. I love the sticky notes. And of course, my seasonal spender. These are for items of like where it is just the season, where you would be spending the money. Like snow removal, I needed liquid salt for the driveway. If it's July, I'm not going to be thinking of liquid salt, so that's why I'm counting it as a seasonal item. Then that way, next year, hopefully, I can go back to this page and say, ooh, I'm going to be needing liquid salt in January, so like maybe save up some monies for it. Again, sweaters and jeans. Valentine's Day decor, but hopefully I won't have to purchase that next year because I already have it. Ray just wanted a homemade meal for his birthday, so that was $0, and I used gift cards for the Shamrock Shakes. So, so far, seasonal spending has been kept where it should be, low as possible, because I would overdo it. I know I would. And again, I do like to give you a quick flip through of all of the weeklies, just so you can get like a general view of what we're doing here. I know it looks a lot different than most people's budget planners. I need things to be bright and colorful, even though I don't know what I was doing with this page, guys. It just, it's that pink right there. That pink does not go with it. I would go back and change that. But yeah, no, so some of them come out better than others. So this is, yes, this is whenever we were eliminating the Amazon cabinet. And normally the whole pinks in that don't vibe with me, but I did make some really nice layouts for February. And of course you have this wonderful reflection area. I love all of the space in this planner, guys. Switching to a weekly was probably like one of the best things that I've ever done. So I don't know, I'm a very happy, satisfied Hemlock and Oak customer for this year. And as you can see, we've made it to March. So again, I'm going to take a quick break before we start getting into March and our current week. Alrighty, so let's discuss these overview pages a little bit more in detail now, since we're actually in the month of March. So they always start out with the boundaries, the self-care, the intentions, and the habits for the month. Of course, the boundary that I decided for March was the fact that spring was on the way. Spring is here now, but you know, going back to March 1st it was like, look, we're about to do a seasonal change. I'm somebody who gets really excited when I go in the store and I start seeing like all the new seasonal things, and I again am somebody who like has to buy all of it. So that doesn't really work when you're trying to pay off debt. So that was my main boundary for March. Is it's like, look, buddy, spring's right around the corner, and the main goal is just keep a close eye on that seasonal spending. Don't get suckered into seasonal clothing, seasonal decorations. The big one for me is Shamrock Shakes. So that's the main boundary, and I will have to say I'm doing great on that. I am. So I don't know, apparently writing that down made a difference. The 3 things of self-care for the month was to finish my Starry Night painting, which I don't know if I'm gonna get that thing finished. There is so much detail into this thing, but I mean, I have put a lot of time in it. And again, with the self-care, for the most part, they are free. They don't cost anything minus the tanning, but it keeps me involved with something. It stops me from being bored. It stops me from just scrolling around on the internet trying to find stuff that I think I need to buy, but I don't. That's I guess that is the main lesson of this year is it really set aside time for self-care because it does save money. Who would have knew, you know? And of course, you know, extra reading because I am in like a really good book series right now. I think I'm on book 4 and it just keeps getting better. So yeah, cookies and coffee time and reading, and of course I have Mr. Burt with me, and that's just a great time. And again, it just stops me from overspending. The intentions and the milestones that I had for the month is, yeah, I still couldn't believe that I was working on the perks card. Can we please get that paid off? Which I did. So yay, first thing is taken care of. Again, keep working on those store cards. As of March 1st, I believe that Michael's was going to be the first to be paid off for March. Turns out it was Target. I didn't realize, which I should have known because I write them down. Target only had $55 left on it, so yeah, Target got paid because it had the least amount. So I don't really know how I missed that, but I mean, you know, never know. Michael still might get paid off. But, yeah. And of course we got the habit tracker. You may notice that some of these squares are not colored in. It's because I'm still waiting for the stupid transactions to go on the cards so that I can pay them. They do not have an X minus this one. The only time they get an X is whenever I know that I intentionally spent. I intentionally charged something to a card knowing that I did not have the funds in the account. Again, that's the habit that I'm trying to break. February, you can see we only had one day. February was actually a good month. I did a great job. March, not so much. March, I went down the rabbit hole. I don't know if it's just because I had the stress of the dentist stuff like going on in February, if that's what kept that under control, or if it's the fact that I knew I wanted to seasonally spend, but I figured, oh, well, it's not seasonal spending, so I'm just going to do it. I really don't know, guys, but that was something that we really struggled in the month of March with, and I'm paying for it. I am definitely paying for it right now because of course all of those little X's are things that I charged that I shouldn't have charged because I didn't have the freaking funds for it. And of course now I got all these extra little gotta pay these off charts. So moving on to the, hey buddies, okay, so moving on to the do you really need these? Again, this is a little quick list that I make for, you know, whenever I start thinking that, oh man, I really need to buy this thing, or wouldn't it be nice to have this? I just quickly write it on here, and if I do end up needing it, or purchasing it, whether or not I need it, it gets checked off. So we can see HP photo paper still lives. It's been on there since January. Haven't purchased it yet. Probably going to need to purchase it in April though. But again, that's 4 months, guys. That's 4 months where I've made it without needing that. Oh, buddies, what are you doing? What are you doing? Bert wants a hug. Hugs are free though. Okay, so of course we had the Vita Collagen, the SB vitamins. I did need those. The transmission cooler. Remember the transmission tried to die at the beginning of the month, so we had to purchase that. Tanning. I didn't really need it. I wanted it. Tanning lotion. I haven't had to purchase that yet. Bath fixtures. The hot water, thing started leaking, so I had to replace that. Oil and oil filter was on like a 50% off sale, so I did get that. And of course, another hair dryer in storage, guys. I know, even Bert got the little ears back. Turns out the hair dryer that I purchased back in February that I shouldn't have purchased, it sucks. I do not recommend it. So I purchased the same brand that I had before. But yeah, so I still gotta pay that off. Again, this is my little purchase list here, so we can see that we still have that checklist for the storage on Michael's. The transmission I have set on a pay in 4 schedule, so those just come out automatically every 2 weeks. The paper, I got that paid. The tans I'm paying as I go. Um, which the nice thing is okay, this is not 0%, but this is 0%, 0%, 0%. So at least, I made sure that they were 0% when I did charge them. The car insurance actually saves me 1 month of car insurance, so it actually does kind of work out. The SB pills, again, those are 0%, but again, I need those guys. And when I do open up a jar, I'm just gonna pay, yeah, I just take this number, divide it by 6, and that's gonna be the payment for that month. These are the two right here. Shouldn't have got, don't, should have just sucked it up and used a crappy hair dryer. But I mean, guys, I needed to dry my hair. I really did. The storage was just an extra bonus. So again, I'm on the whole spendy thing. Shouldn't be spending, but I am, and it just happens. So the best thing that I could do is just create a little tracker and, just move forward. It happens. This is my online spending. We can see there's a lot of online spending for the month of March, but again, it just helps me keep track of, like, where did I buy from, what did I buy, when's it gonna be delivered, did it get delivered. My favorite one was Walmart's this week. It was okay, so of course I got the hair dryer, so I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna have them do a bottle of hair mousse with it, just might as well. And yeah, they brought me a thing of Metamucil instead, so we had to return that. Walmart. So yeah, okay, so we got the monthly. Again, I do this as a visualization since I do get paid bi-weekly. This is just easier for me to keep track of what's due, when it's due. This just works better than those regular, like, budget sheets that everybody fills out, like your monthly budget. Like, I'm gonna make X amount of dollars, I'm gonna spend X amount of dollars. Um, I don't know if it's just the amount of bills that I have, or if it's just how my brain works, but I always mess those sheets up. It never works. It doesn't. YNAB, I use YNAB, that You Need a Budget app. That does all of my totaling and budgeting for me, so I just pretty much fill in the green lines and try not to get a red line, and that's how I do my budgeting, guys. But mainly this page is just a friendly reminder of due dates. Who's due? Right, buddies? Yeah, what's due? And again, I try to keep track of the store balances off to the side. And again, just going through these weekly layouts, just checking to see. So for the month of March, we paid off Discover, so I did do a balance transfer with that, but 81 was the remaining balance, so that guy, he's at 0, so I don't gotta worry about him. I wanted to do the extra payment towards perks just to get it lowered. This was the week of where I was like, okay, what is the perks balance? Like, what do I owe? So I avoided using the perks for the week. But, I mean, guys, I really love the perks card because it does give me free gas. So I will continue using it. And this is the week that we've made it to. So, of course, the focus for this week was to pay off perks since I know that it had a balance of 122.24. It was like, just get that thing done and out of the way. Then that way I can move on to the next focus account. Again, Target was due this week and it only had a balance of $55, so I was like, heck with it, I have $55, get that paid off as well. So we got a lot of things paid off this week, guys. It's a lot. Got the second transmission payment out of the way. The only thing is that I did sucker myself into buying another hair dryer, but hey, I guess I had two big wins, one step back. Um, the other thing is I did spend a little bit more than what I normally would this week, just because we have a local thing called IU Patties, where all the college kids get drunk and roam the streets, and we're not talking like a small amount, we're talking like large crowds. So I did do additional sheet strips, just because nobody in their right mind leaves their home Saturday and Sunday. You just barricade yourself in. Again, paid off perks, and I did make an extra payment for the Amazon. Remember what we saw in the beginning, the Amazon Home. Normally my Prime and Kindle, those two payments cover the minimum, but I was still $10 short, so I figured, just throw $20 towards the Amazon Home. I'm going to be paying it off anyways, so a little bit doesn't hurt. And yes, and of course, Mr. Burt got fed for $2.11 today from PetSmart. Mr. Ray picked up the order, so we didn't have to adventure out. Again, this is why I use the credit cards. You get the points in that, guys. So the main trick is keeping up with them and only spending what you got. And again, some of you may notice that Discover doesn't have anything written under it right now, and that's because I'm waiting for the transactions to clear, which will be tomorrow morning. For some reason, it just feels like it's taking things so much more longer to clear these days. I remember them being like instant, or at least a day or two before, but for some reason, it's just really feels like they have slow transaction times now. But anything that's highlighted in green is on the Discover card, so it'll get covered tomorrow morning. Everything is, I got the money sitting off to the side saying I'm ready to pay you. It's just, they won't let me. And of course, this is the color scheme that we're going into next week with. Not the best, but it I feel like once I start filling it in, it'll start coming together. That's how it normally works. I'm still trying to figure out what my focus and intention is for this week, which I guess with it being like the last main week of March, I should probably start going back through and seeing, like, is there any of the transactions that I missed? Do I need to cover any of them? Can I cover any of the bigger ones? Can I pay off Michael's? There's so many questions. So many we don't know. And of course, once we get that done, we can finish out the March review. And I mean, we're moving into April, guys, so that's exciting. I get to actually start thinking about what we're going to be doing for the month of April, because as of right now, I have no idea. I am just trying to get through March. And for anyone who missed it when I flipped this at the beginning, this is my handmade Tetris. I wanted something that was a little bit more easier for me to color in the blocks and keep track of. So granted, it's not the exact amount. This is 15,354. This is 15,300. So I'm missing $54 worth of blocks. I don't see me paying it this year, guys. I don't. If I do, I will draw them in personally. But to me, this was good enough. Each block is $10. And, yeah. So, I mean, we're doing pretty good. It's not bad. It's not great. But we can see, like, the blues January, pinks February, greens March. And that's how much I'm paying towards these things each month. So this is the visual of what I'm paying. And if we go back to those quarterlies, this is where I'm keeping track of the balances throughout the year. So I generally am a visual person, so this actually means more to me than this, but again, you do need to know the hard numbers to make correct decisions. So yeah, I keep both. So that's it, guys. That's where I'm at in the budget journey. So we got the first thing paid off. Thank you. And we can finally move on to the next account. Yay! So again, guys, I just want to close out by saying thank you so much for watching. I do greatly appreciate it. And please remember to hit that like and subscribe button to see more budget reviews.